Welcome back, everyone. I actually never got around to doing a lot of iPhone 12 comparisons, so I figured I might as well go around and do them right now. So we're going to go ahead and kind of compare the iPhone 12 against the iPhone 5S and see which one you should pick up. Now, obviously, in every single sense of the way, the iPhone 5S is the better phone. Totally joking. Okay, that's a totally joke. You guys can take a joke sometimes. The iPhone 12 is the better phone. It's just, there's no competition really. Surprisingly, the iPhone 5S is still getting support, which is really impressive. But if you have any brain, if you have any money, get the iPhone 12 for sure. But the 5S is still a pretty decent phone. It came out in 2013, and the fact that it's still getting support is pretty insane to me. So in terms of that, I can definitely tell you, obviously pick up the iPhone 12. Now I'll find the cheapest ones of both these. I'll probably leave an iPhone SE 2 or something linked down below for the 5S place, so you can pick them up from there and help support the channel at the same time. Now looking on the front, first of all, side by side, you can definitely tell that the iPhone 12 is a much bigger phone in every single way. And I think even we can probably put the whole entire 5S inside of the display of the iPhone 12, which is pretty insane. Now the 5S does have that 4-inch IPS panel on it, and it's 640 by 1136. That's that resolution. And as I said before, and I've said this over and over again, it was never a horrible panel. Even at that time, it was actually pretty good. It's a much smaller phone than a lot of the competition, but I think everyone's pretty much okay with it. It'll definitely get the job done. Not an ugly panel, but definitely a good panel for the most part. But definitely compared to something like the iPhone 12 that has that beautiful 6.1-inch Super Retina XDR OLED panel, you're definitely getting a much better looking panel on the iPhone 12. The colors are great. It's an OLED panel, and the viewing angles are good, probably better than the iPhone 12 is, or the iPhone 5S as well. And there's no complaints for me at all. I mean, the only thing maybe the lack of 120 hertz or 90 hertz or anything like that. But definitely when you look at these side by side, you are definitely getting a far better looking panel on the iPhone 12 than on the iPhone 5S. In terms of the thickness, you can kind of see that obviously, surprisingly, actually, they kind of had the same thing going on. They have both the flat sides, kind of designed to it. So there's not a lot of difference there either. Same type of build quality for the most part too, except when we get into the back, you can see that we do have a glass back on the iPhone 12 where we have that, aluminum back on the 5S with a little bit of, residue of glass on the top and bottom. So take that as you will, but I definitely would say the iPhone 12 is the better feeling phone for sure. It feels like a more premium phone, and it obviously looks like a more premium phone too. But the 5S still has a lot of characteristics to make it feel like a very, very premium phone. Like the 5S doesn't feel like a cheap phone. It doesn't even feel like it looks like it came out, a long time ago for sure because of the home button and all that stuff, but it doesn't look ugly. There's some phones that look old and they're ugly. The iPhone 5S is not a phone that looks ugly. So for sure, when it comes down to both of these, the iPhone 12 is better looking, but the 5S has a lot of history behind it too. In terms of software updates and longevity, obviously the iPhone 12 is going to far outlast the iPhone 5S, but the funny thing to keep in mind also is that the 5S does have one little tiny trick up its sleeve, which is that checkring jailbreak. The iPhone 12 does not have any jailbreaks on it, so that's not a crazy thing to keep in mind, but it is something that's kind of important. If you're trying to get the longevity, the longest supportive phone, the iPhone 12 is by far the better way to go. But the iPhone 5S is still pretty decent. It's still getting software support, but it's going to be done probably within a couple of months. So after that, it's not really worth it anymore. So in terms of that pretty much covers it up. Now let's go ahead and do a little bit of a speed comparison between these two phones. The iPhone 12 has that Apple A14 Bionic chip inside of it with 4 gigabytes of RAM, where the iPhone 5S has that Apple A7 chip inside of it with 1 gigabyte of RAM. So let's go and see which one is the faster iPhone between both of these. Okay, now that we're back, let's go ahead and clear all the apps in the background, which I think I already did, as you can see. So let's start loading them up. Let's go ahead and do phone calls. 3, 2, 1. And just look at the animations, how much faster it was on the iPhone 12. I mean, even closing out is insanely fast. Messages, 3, 2, 1. And you can see again, the iPhone 12 far faster. Let's do camera, 3, 2, 1. And probably the iPhone 12 was faster there. App Store, 3, 2, 1. And again, just the animations are just such an immediate difference that I'm able to see. And even here, you can see the iPhone 12 is far faster. Scrolling through, you can probably see that we're even glitching up a little bit on the 5S. And I mean, it's just so much more smoother on the iPhone 12. But the 5S is actually still surprisingly pretty smooth. It's not as bad as I thought. It's still a very smooth phone, I think, for a 2013 device. Let's do settings, 3, 2, 1. Now, even on a basic app like that, that's a stock built-in app, no one has to download anything for it, the iPhone 12 is still noticeably faster there. Now, as always, I have a bunch of these third-party apps we can go and get into. Let's do BOFA, 3, 2, 1. And again, the iPhone 12 far faster. The iPhone 5S is definitely going to take a little bit of time. and it's definitely probably stuck. So, I mean, we can probably keep it going, but that's an insane difference for sure. And then we eventually get into it. That was a very, very big difference. Snapchat, but I'm already loaded here. So 3, 2, 1. I mean, even then, even to load into it, this stuff and all that stuff is still going to be faster on the iPhone 12. We eventually do get into it on the iPhone 5S. Temple Run 2, which I don't even have here, which is very sad. Dropbox 3, 2, 1. And again, the iPhone 5S was much slower than the iPhone 12 for sure. And I don't even know how to update. Some very, very crazy stuff. Quizlet 3, 2, 1. And I mean, it's just such a humongous difference for sure. And this is the type of performance difference you're going to see day to day. You're going to definitely be getting a far better looking phone and better performing phone from the iPhone 12 for sure. Netflix 3, 2, 1. And again, the iPhone 12 is faster. iPhone 5S, noticeably behind. Just thank you, 3, 2, 1. And again, the iPhone 12 was faster. And the iPhone 5S may just be a little bit behind it. And it's still loading, I think. Maybe it's stuck, who knows. And this is, I mean, beyond just the loading speeds, the gameplay is also going to be, substantially faster on most games. On this one, you can even see a lot of glitched frames and everything on the iPhone 5S for sure. Let's go ahead and do Stack, which I don't even have. Let's go and do Facebook 3, 2, 1. And again, animation speed is much faster on the iPhone 12. And definitely took a while on the iPhone 5. Let's do Real Racing 3, 3, 2, 1. And I mean, I think we all pretty much know, what the... I think we all know pretty much which one is going to be the faster one between these two. The iPhone 12 also had a little bit of a pop-up, and even then I'm pretty sure it's still going to be much faster than the iPhone 5S. So, I mean, that's pretty much a given. That's what we know right now. And you can see, even to get into this panel is faster on the iPhone 12. Maybe the iPhone 5S will randomly come fast. Nope, okay, the iPhone 12 was definitely the far faster one there. And the iPhone 5S will probably take a little bit of while to get into it. So definitely when it came down to both of these, the iPhone 12 is the far faster phone for sure in every single way. The animations are going to be faster, the app opening speeds are going to be faster, and the graphics are going to be faster. But I think the iPhone 5S was okay for the most part for as old of a device as this. It's still pretty impressive in my standpoint. So in terms of, app opening and speed test, that pretty much covers it up. Let's go ahead on the cameras. Now, there was a plane that randomly flew by, so it was very annoying, but the iPhone 5S has a single 8 megapixel sensor, where the iPhone 12 has a dual camera setup, a 12 megapixel wide, then a 12 megapixel ultra wide sensor. Now, on the iPhone 5S, as pretty much always suggested, this camera wasn't, an amazing camera. I don't think when it came, I think honestly when it came out, it was pretty good. But because time progresses and everything like that, it's not going to be as great of a camera as it once was. And we're missing a lot of camera sensors. We're missing, a lot of capability. We can only do 1080p videos on the back. We can only do 720p videos on the front. In this day and age, that is pretty outdated. However, you still get some capability. You still have, slow-mo mode and all that stuff. But as a day-to-day phone, for a camera standpoint, it's really not that great, unfortunately, and that's probably the biggest problem with something like an iPhone 5S and the iPhone 12. You're just not getting that crazy capability of something like the iPhone 12 has, and even the iPhone 12's camera isn't even that crazy in this day and age, but it's definitely more capability than the iPhone 5S. On the iPhone 12, you're getting things like 4K 60 on the back, and you're getting that additional ultra-wide sensor, which is really nice. So you can zoom out a lot more in a photo. With the iPhone 5S, we really didn't have that capability. So again, that's another pretty big thing to keep in mind. And even on the front, you have a 12 megapixel front-facing camera here that you can do 4K at 60 on this camera as well. And that's another huge asset of this type of phone. You have so much type of capability behind it. Where the iPhone 5S in this day and age is just not that great as expected, where the iPhone 12 is pretty good. It's a really good camera in this day and age. It's definitely not the best, but it's a very good camera for sure. And it's much better than the iPhone 5S, which is pretty much what everyone expects. Now, ending it off with the battery life, I did do a battery life test between these two, which I think I already posted like a month or two ago, but pretty much I saw the iPhone 12 beat the iPhone 5S by quite a bit, so it's not even point talking about it. So to kind of sum up this video and to answer the question, should you pick up an iPhone 5S? Should you keep your iPhone 5S? Or is going to the iPhone 12 a worthwhile upgrade that you should go and spend your money on? Well, what I can tell you is that for sure, if you have the money, going from an iPhone 5S to the iPhone 12 is going to be such an insane upgrade in every single category. You're getting a bigger phone, you're getting a bigger battery, better battery life from this device, you're getting more capability from the iPhone 12 for sure. You're getting a much better hardware, longer software support, cameras that are just so much better than the iPhone 5S. You're getting great performance, like I said, and just a better phone. I mean, in every single category, this is a better phone. The only thing that in my head that I think the iPhone 5S even has a chance in may just be something with the checkra jailbreak. The fact that it still has jailbreak capability makes it a little bit of a good deal, I guess. But as a daily phone, I probably would not recommend anyone to use this phone anymore. It's just completely slow. It doesn't really have too much craziness going for it. However, for a 2013 phone, it's pretty impressive. The fact that this thing still even turns on and it still has some capability and Apple is still pushing out software updates for this phone is pretty impressive in my head. And I don't think it's perfect. Wouldn't recommend anybody using it, but it's still impressive that Apple is pushing out updates for this specific device. So in terms of that really pretty much covers it up. If you guys want to pick up, like I said, an iPhone 12, I'll find one link down below. Get it from there, help support the channel at the same time. If you have any other questions or anything, let me know in the comment section as well. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. Every single subscriber that we get really does count, so it means so much if you guys can hit that. Also check out the other links down in the description as well. My Twitter, my Instagram, my other channels. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.